What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 8 different coins on tonight's Shitcoin Showdown. I know I've got a lot of new subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing, by the way. New subscribers, old subscribers. But for those of you that don't know, I do requests openly. If you have a request, feel free to leave it in the comments section. I don't care if it's the most popular coin out there, if it gets talked about every day, if it gets talked about once in a while, if nobody's ever heard about it. If you have a coin or a stock or a commodity or a whatever, if I can chart it, if I can put it on TradingView, I will pull it up and I will do some technical analysis for you. I've been doing technical analysis for a little over 6 years, going on 7 years now. And yeah, if you'd like, also you can join the Discord. I'll leave a link in the description to join the Discord. I do tend to those first, but you know, I've got 4 Discord requests in this video, 4 YouTube requests in this video, so it's all done at the same time, more or less, right? Like I get to them within a day or two. But without any more rumblings of the mouth, let's actually get into this. We're going to be starting off with VAI, Voit, something like that, for the Unleavened Baptist. Moving on to Taraxa, Terra for Average Jane, PLI for Benji, AKT, Akash Network for Stana, Vertcoin for Jupiter Lord, LTC for the Curious Sloth, specifically LTC in comparison to BTC, but we'll be going over the whole thing itself, you know. KP3R for Lady Bex, and finishing it up, wrapping it all up with QUBIC Network for Jorge Perez. There's some that I haven't heard of on here, and you know, most of them I have heard of mostly. Maybe they're new to you. Maybe you know you knew about them, but you've forgotten about them. You know, that's why we do these requests, to hopefully find hidden gems, or if anybody's thinking about putting money in there and they are absolute shit, we can at least discover that together. Again, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a technical analyst giving you my opinions on what I see in the charts, and I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. It's not about being right or wrong. It's all about risk management at the end of the day. So you just, you know, never, ever have all your eggs in one basket. And if you do, at least spread that basket out. Don't keep them all on the exchange. Try to have your cash on multiple wallets, stuff like that, to not expose yourself to security risks. Anyways, man, I'm getting off topic. I'm trying to do TA here, so let's get into this thing. Starting off with VAI for the Unleavened Baptist. Right now on the weekly, I don't necessarily like the look. I do like the overall look, because what you have here is like this move. You kind of moved down, checked back, consolidated, had a correction, whatever you want to call it, and now it looks like you're moving up. You're having your next leg up. But you did reject the purple line here. To my knowledge, this is the most historical data that I could find that didn't look weird. There are some charts with more historical data, but they looked strange. So you do have volume increasing, building nice. No, it's not as much volume as down here. But to be fair, you had this wonderful move without as much volume as you had in this accumulation phase. So I think that's okay. Having volume build as you're breaking out, though, is nice to see. But rejecting this purple line isn't necessarily condemning, but it might put a stop in your plans for the time being. You did move up for 3 weeks. Seeing that and then rejecting from here, you might see a common retracement from low to high. Let's see, what would that take you to? You know, I would think at least you're sitting at 10.4 cents right now, probably down just below 9 cents, right? Around 8.8 cents. It's very common to wick just a little bit below the 382, so don't be surprised if we do that. And then maybe you hold there and then you continue to build. You know, on your way up here, you did have 1, 2, 3 weeks and then a red week, 1 week and then 1 red week, and then, you know, you might just have 1 red week here, and then next week you start to go up. But you know, you did have wicks going down on both these weeks here. A little one here, I guess a bigger one here, but I would expect that you go down to this 382. Maybe you have multiple weeks. Just because you had 1 red week on your way up here doesn't mean you're going to get the same thing. But let's look on this on the daily perspective. I do like that you held out of the bearish area of control, or I guess you were in it. I guess you were in it, but you didn't go to the oversold zone, and you formed a little like triangle bottom here, and you broke out. Very nice move on your RSI. So I do think that you're showing strength overall. But let's get on to the daily and see if we can define this a little bit better. All right. And again, I was talking about this 382, but you could completely possible. You could go down to the 618, 69 area, somewhere around 6 to 6.6 cents. Let's put some lines on these, see if we can make sense out of it actually. 6.8 there, 6.9 there, and the 382 there. And then we'll delete the fib and we'll just look at this thing for what it is going back in time. I do like that you're building volume as you're moving up. This does look encouraging for sure. Yeah, your 618, 69 area, you found a little bit of support in this area. Your 382, you found some resistance here, some support here, some support here. This 382 does look a little bit more significant in my opinion, but there's relative significance in this zone as well, right? Some resistance there on your 6.9. A little bit of resistance on a closing period here. Yeah, I like this 382. I really do like that 8.7, 8.8 area for a potential retracement, you know, being again from this low to high on the fib scales. Looking at the daily here, you did top this move off with some bearish divergence, and now you're seeing the repercussions of that. That would at least, at a minimum, take you to where the divergence started, which would be at 9.6 cents, around there, just a little bit below there. But I do think you go lower than that. To be fair, you do have hidden bullish divergence where you have a low here, a lower low here, but you're maintaining higher lows. But you were overbought for a solid bit. You know, this was a nice move. Volume's increasing. You know, I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's just see here. From that top to this bottom here, maybe. I would think you go lower. I would think that you would at least see this 382. Yeah. Don't be upset if you break this previous area of resistance. I don't think that that means you're going all the way down here. I think you really could hold this 382. You don't have to. These are lines. They are not requirements. They are not prophecies. You do not have to. But from the look of it, I would think that you go lower, probably around that 8.8 cent area. It's very common to wick below the 382. 4-hour RSI. Looks like it couldn't make up its mind for a while. You try it up again, and then now you're making your mind up going to the downside. I would expect that you're going to see a more kind of dramatic move on a 4-hour perspective as you get into these lower zones, and especially if you get into the oversold zone here. Maybe you form some bullish divergence, and then that'll be the end of your down move. So look for that. Look for that. That could happen over the next couple days, maybe even over the next week, something like that, which kind of coincides with a lot of cryptos. I think over the next week we're going to start to see a little bit of a drop for most cryptos, not for all cryptos, but for most of them. So anyways, moving on from there, I think VAI, Voit, whatever, however you pronounce that, goes to about 8.8 cents. If it doesn't go there, look for prices anywhere from 6.1 to 6.6 cents, something like that. Okay, moving on to Terra for Average Jane, Taraxa. Let's see. Does KuCoin have sufficient data? I want to see. Let's see here. Yes, KuCoin does have sufficient data. So Taraxa, I know Jane's got a fat bag of this stuff. I don't know how fat, but you took some profits up here. Good for you. You know, this is a nice move all in all from the low here to just this current craziness that we're going through. This might be one that not a lot of people have heard about, but very nice bottom. I can't explain how nice this low was. Yes, you had a rough start, very rocky beginnings, lower highs, lower lows, but the way you ended it was just beautiful. Classic double bottom formation. This it's kind of like an Eve and an Adam almost, which is generally, you know, Adam and Eve patterns are where it's a bottoming pattern for one, but you have this V, that's your Adam, and then your Eve, it's a double bottoming pattern. Your breakout point is right at the crux here, and then when you break out, you basically move from like the depth of the pattern itself. That's like your measure move. So all in all, if we were to take a measure move of this thing, let's just see how the technicals do for us. Let me put it right there. I mean, that was your first move right there. You literally actually exceeded your measure move, which is no surprise why we continue to move up afterwards. You know, this could also be looked at as like a bull flag, and we're moving up afterwards. But looking at it on the weekly, as of right now, very strong readings in the RSI. Is it a good take profit zone? I mean, sure. I think so. You know, you're around this previous area of highs, kind of a previous area of support here. It could be resistance. That's not too crazy. From a top to a bottom, you hit your 1272. Let's look at this thing on the daily, because it might tell us a little bit more. Yeah, you got some bearish divergence for sure. It's actually double bearish divergence where you have one high, two highs, three highs, all lower highs, and then here you have one high, two highs, three highs, all higher highs. That's two drives of bearish divergence, and you fell just short of your 1414. I do think that was a nice take profit zone for anybody that took profits there. Even from the current area, again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just my opinion. It's very, very common when you see these extensions anywhere in this zone here to retrace back to your 886. And wouldn't you know it, your 886 area had resistance right here a little bit before. It was a previous area of resistance back here as well. I wonder even if we continue to go back. Let's see. It's like right there. Let me put a line on it just so we can not assume. Yeah, right there. Moving on back. A little bit of resistance, a little bit of support. It's a significant area. So yeah, besides the fact that it's very common to retrace to your 886, there's significance on that area as well. So I think you see a pullback down there, if not potentially lower. You know, you could go to your 786, your 618, stuff like that. I wouldn't think that you go below your 618, which is at just below 9 cents. So I wouldn't think that you go below that. But honestly, I would look for a bounce, or at least to hold support relatively in the area of, oh, that's not 8 cents, I'm sorry, that's 0.89 cents. So relatively in the area of like 1.25 cents, something like that. Maybe you wick below it a little bit, as you did when you wicked above it here, but hold it as support overall, and then continue. This is a very classic pattern maneuver. Whenever you go to your extensions, hold your 886 as support, you continue to go higher, and generally when you test back that 886 after seeing common extensions, you see deeper extensions, which would lead you up to about 4 cents to maybe even up into these twos, which could lead you all the way up to 11 cents, something like that, 2618 or higher. You know, this thing, I believe it's a low market cap. Let's check it out. Terra. Let's see, number 405. Yeah, $62 million market cap. Definitely potential to do some crazy things. I mean, it's already been doing crazy things, but nice volume. Yeah, really nice volume. Let's delete this here. Really nice volume, man. Yeah. I don't know. It could just keep going, but I don't know. You know, to be fair, we don't have, I guess we have bearish divergence presenting itself, but it's not confirmed until today closes red. If today closes red, then it is confirmed, and even then it could still get negated if like the next day were to turn green and get a little bit above that. You know, it'd be nice to see like 2 days closing red in a row to really like signal that this is probably going to turn around again, probably around that 1.25 cent area. These previous highs somewhere around there. What do we got from low to high here? Look at that. Your 382 is right in that area as well. So generally with strong moves up, which I think you're probably experiencing one right now, checking back to your 382 and building from there is just a very common maneuver. I know that the 618 is called the golden ratio, but the 382, seeing this move happen is fairly common, especially whenever you're seeing a strong move up or down. So don't ignore this. I definitely think that and besides that, it's the 886 of a more significant fib. And previous areas of resistance and support. I think that would make sense. I want to look at the 4 hour before we move on. Yeah, so you continue to move up a little bit, right? And declining volume, bearish divergence there on your 4 hour, bearish engulfing candle on your 4 hour. I think, you know, again, I'd wait for this day to close red to really get temporarily bearish, but ultimately I do think you're on your way again. I think I said something like 4 to 11 cents, but maybe over the next week to 2 weeks, making a move down. Just because you hit this zone does not mean that it's go time immediately. You can, you know, kind of consolidate, grind it out for a little bit, and then move up, something like that. But I do think down from here overall is what I would be expecting. So moving on from there, we're going to do PLI for Benji. PLI, USD. Oh, I did a space there. That's why it's all weird. There we go. BitTrue. It's only on BitTrue. Looking at this. Let's see here. A little bit of volume coming in, but not much afterwards. We're having a little bit of a bearish week right now. This could promote lower prices. Like you could go down. I feel like I said that maybe in my last video. I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, I was saying you need to get above this 0.5. Otherwise, it looks like you could be going to your 786, 886 area. If not, potentially new lows. I forget what I said exactly. Let me see. But I'm sure it was something like that. You know, I don't want to take any fibs from over here. I want to keep it relevant. I mean, let's see. There might be some significance over here. I guess we can go there. I don't like that top. Because this is like the beginning. It might not be completely relevant. This top here might be more significant. I don't like that. Not really any significance. This one here, kind of significant. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it relevant. You know, if it doesn't make sense to you, then don't use it. That's kind of my perspective, you know. It's not saying like you can't just use any fib that you want and draw it wherever. That's not how it works. I am going from highs to lows, but it's not just any high or any low, and I feel like if I was to take any, like that's what it would be. So with something like this, where it doesn't have a lot of historical data, I feel like it's more fair to do that, but try to avoid it if you can. The most relative low to high is always a good place to start. If you're learning how to do fibs, it's always a good place to start. And if you zoom out, if you're on the 4-hour time frame, it might not be as significant. Zoom out to like your weekly or daily. It's more easy to see like your most relative low to high. You know, you're not going to get caught up in all the noise. But looking at this, a bounce off of this area, rejection off the 0.5, I would think that you would at least go, you're sitting at about 3.25 cents right now. I would think that you go somewhere about a cent lower, maybe to 2.4 cents, maybe down just below 2 cents. And the potential is very real to go even below 1 cent and see extensions from here. I don't like this chart, man. It's not too good right now, but you do have hopes of holding a higher low or even a double bottom, so hopefully you do that. But all in all, you do have lower lows throughout your whole existence, and you just have lower highs throughout your whole existence too. Those are not perfectly drawn lines, but you see what I'm going for, right? This is on the weekly perspective. Let's look at the RSI real quick. You're not in the bearish area of control, but you look like you want to get down there. We'll see. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, you were oversold, couldn't even get overbought. You were in the bullish area of control for a little bit, but now you're making strides down. You are technically in the bearish area of control right now. Yeah, man, I do think it wants to go lower. When I say I don't like it, that doesn't mean that it's absolute trash. I don't know how well this thing will do in the coming bull cycle. It's a low cap coin for sure. It's only on one exchange, but you know, definitely room for growth. But maybe first, I would say it could go down all the way down to 1.5 cents, maybe 2.5 cents, if not potentially lower. So again, kind of with those other coins that I was talking about, maybe in the next couple weeks, look for this to come down. That's really all I got to say. Yeah, the 4-hour RSI looks bad too. So definitely down is what I'm thinking for PLI at the moment. Bearish engulfing candle here on the daily. You're kind of checking back, like you tested this closing area right here, and now you're going lower, it looks like. Yeah, I would think you're going lower. Let's see. I wonder if we can make sense out of this real quick. From that bottom to top, if we can make sense out of those extensions with these retracements. Come on now. Let's see. I know it looks like a bunch of lines. It is a bunch of lines, but bear with me. Okay, so you got your 786 right in line with your 1414. If you see it on the daily, it might be a little bit more obvious. Maybe not. You can't see the number, so I'm gonna pump it back out to the weekly. That lines up. You have your deep extension, your 1886, right with the 886. So I do think that there's solid hope that you could be forming a higher low. But just, you know, patience with this thing. Wait and see what it does. If you want to get in on this thing, I wouldn't necessarily think now is a good time to get in on it. But if you had buy orders down here, maybe even down here, somewhere in between, that might be a good thing to have. I wouldn't, if I was looking to get in on this, which I'm not personally buying it, but if I was looking to get in on this, I wouldn't wait for the price to go down here and then buy. I would probably have buy orders layered out throughout this zone and very tight stop losses after the 886. You know, it can wick. This is a low market cap coin, so it could definitely wick a little bit below the 886, so keep that in mind. And you could hold a double bottom. It's kind of tough waters to navigate. I don't know. I would say you need to have conviction, believe in the project if you're wanting to buy into this thing. But anyways, moving on from there, moving on from PLI, I think it goes lower, and then hopefully we see some kind of recovery. I do think, to end it on a positive note, I do think that this price movement here that we saw with the most volume we've seen throughout this entire chart's history, it looks very legitimate. It's different, you know, compared to all this down here. You got a lot of volume, very strong move up, and now you're having a little bit of a correction. So I think that there is hope. You could be forming some kind of bottoming pattern down here, and it's just yet to form its higher low or double bottom. But yeah, it's tricky waters to navigate. Anyways, moving on from there, AKT, Akash Network for Stana, Kraken, Bittrex. Maybe we'll start with Bittrex and then move on to Kraken. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, Bittrex on the weekly. Okay, that's all it's got. Cool. Maybe not. Maybe we'll start with KuCoin. Nope. We'll go to Bittrex real quick. I just don't like, you see how like all these gaps are. Bittrex is a very low volume exchange, so it might not be the most accurate stuff. Oh man, I really don't like charts like this, man. Not like this coin specifically, just what Bittrex is offering here. From top to bottom, from the all-time high to the all-time low. I'm not counting the scam wick here. You are finding resistance at your 618 for sure. You're grinding it though. Let's see. Let's look at this thing on KuCoin and just see. I do think that you found your low. You might be continuing to go higher. You might not. Let's go to KuCoin. Or maybe is there another one? Kraken. Let's use Kraken. I like Kraken a little bit more. Okay, cool. I don't know, man. Kind of looks good. Definitely a constructive, strong-looking RSI. If you take it from your low here to your lows there, you're holding this structure, higher lows for sure. You're in the overbought zone. A lot of people misconstrue that the overbought zone is a bad place to be, but no, it's a good place to be. That's where you see your strongest moves generally happen. So you could be seeing some kind of a breakout here, right? Like you saw this strong move, and where were you? You were in the overbought zone. You saw this strong move here, and where were you? You were in the overbought zone. To be fair, I guess this was a 1 week overbought, and then you turned around. But there's other things to suggest that you could turn around to. Let's see, from top, this will blow up in my face if this doesn't work well. Let's see, top to bottom, 1272, 1414 area. Yeah, that would make sense, like a common extension to make. To be fair, you actually tipped this 2414 all the way up here, held support on the 1618. This looks good, man. This would actually imply, especially if you can get some volume coming in, this would imply that you're going to see a deeper extension at least to this 2618, if not probably further than that. Maybe you might be making a run for new all-time highs. Let's see. Let's look at this thing on the daily. Volume's increasing as you're getting these moves up, man. Nice engulfing candle right there with nice volume. Strong RSI on your daily as well. You refuse to be oversold. You have no problem being overbought. You have no problem staying above this 50. Bounced off the bearish area of control. Like, I like this. Yeah, it looks good. This might be the best looking one so far for like immediate upside. Let's see here. Top to bottom. You hit your 618 on the first pass, found support on your purple line, 236 area, broke through your 6, like literally broke through it on your second pass. If you could confirm this move, right, the only thing that would put you like a setback would be if you close below the 618 today. If you could continue going up higher, I would think your next immediate targets would be, you're at 150 right now, probably 225-ish to maybe $3, something like that, if not higher than that. Again, I want to look at the weekly. I don't know, man. That $3 area, $3.04 area comes in line with those all-time highs, so that actually might be a good area to find your next top before you like have a little correction again. You do have another bottoming pattern here. You have your Adam and your Eve, right? And you broke out, and I think this was a failed breakout actually, but nonetheless, you actually continued to have bullish structure going up. So, but definitely a nice bottom nonetheless, a double bottom, Adam and Eve. Even if it was failed, you failed, but you still held a higher low, and now your trajectory is going up. So good to see. I like it. I think it goes higher, probably again somewhere around 224, 225 to $3.04. You really could be making a run for new all-time highs. I want to see. Let's put some other fibs on here real quick before we end it. 2414. Look at this. So just remember, right? This top to this bottom here, right? Top to bottom here, you topped off not on your first run, but your second run up. You topped off specifically at the 2414. Okay, your first run you topped off just below the 1414, and now we take it to the next one over. Could your not initial move up, but the next one, just like this last time, could it move up to the 2414 where this more relative fibs 1414 is? There's a lot lining up at that 260 area, especially that's at the all-time highs too. I think you're moving up there, 250 to 260. You know, at a minimum 225, 224, but I think you're going to make a move to this 260 area, honestly. Yeah. If not 260, above 250 for sure. Not for sure. You never know. Anything can happen at any time. I do want to look at the daily again real quick, maybe the 4 hour. I like it. I like it a lot, yeah. So that's all I got for AKT. I think that it's going to go up from here. It's on Kraken. I might get some because I got Kraken account, man. Vertcoin, it does look good, I got to say. But let's see how much of a, because I mean, that would be like a whole dollar. Yeah, that's not bad. Vertcoin for Jupiter Lord. Jupiter Lord. We have it on Bittrex or CoinEx. Which one has more volume? I think Bittrex does. Low volume exchange, Bittrex. I believe they're based out of Las Vegas, unless that changed, but I believe they are a United States company. Very long standings. Let's see. Wow. Vertcoin's been around since 2015. I don't know how I've never heard of this thing, man. Maybe I have heard of it and I just forgot about it. You know, I've been around in crypto since 2015, so, but I wasn't really like heavily involved in. I wasn't heavily involved until 2017. So, let's see. Looking at this relative high here to the low. This is on Bittrex, man. I don't like these scam wicks. I do want to look. Let's just see real quick. Do we have it on CoinEx? We'll go to this, yeah. I mean, we're at the beginning. We did hold the 069. Okay, a little bit of respect there. I do like that. That adds a little bit of validity here. For those of you that don't know, because again, I have a lot of new subscribers here, the 069 area is not a fib level. It's just an area that I've found to be significant, as well as the 69 here. I know that 69 is a funny number. It's an innuendo, but that's not the reason I have it on there. It's an area of relevance. You can see here that we actually, well, I guess this was before the anchor point, but generally, I've shown it plenty of times in plenty of videos. I know the people that have been around have seen it, but you will go just past 618, and oftentimes you actually tip that 69 specifically. So just take it for what it's worth. That there's a reason why that line's there, and it's not just for comedy's sake. But from top to bottom here, you might be going up. You might be going up, Vertcoin. I don't like your chart, all in all. Right, you did not have a good bull market last cycle. You did have a little bit of a move up, but all in all, you've been in a kind of multi-year downtrend. You might be, at best right now, moving up to form yet again another lower high, and they continue to go lower. Maybe things are different this time, and you continue to build from there. RSI does look nice. Looks constructive for sure. You finished off this low with like a double bottom and a very bearish engulfing candle with high volume, but bullish divergence. You are rejecting the 50, but you could come up. It's it's still, you're only down 6-7% this week. You could, for a coin like this, you could really move up in the next 18 hours. You could move up. Even if you reject here, you might not actually reject. You might continue to go higher. I want to look at the daily. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. Right here, you were holding this as resistance. This purple line. You were holding it as resistance, right? Here, that's not what I was trying to do. Here you're holding it as support. To be fair, you did kind of do the same thing over here and inevitably continue to go down. But let's look at this RSI. It looks pretty decent. I don't know, you did break out of this like ascending trend line that you have here. I would like to see you stay above this purple line. If you move below it, really probably if you move below this in the coming week or so, move below about 5.45 cents, then you might be going back down to these lows here, if not somewhere around 4.15 cents. I wonder if we can take an immediate fib and get some relevance there. Bottom to top. Yeah, your 618, 69 area is kind of coming in line with the support area over here. 382, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but you could hold it as support and still wick below it and find support really on like this previous area of resistance. So again, look to hold this level here at about 5.5 cents, and if not, probably lower is what I would think. So let's look at the 4 hour. Right now, just looking at it for what it is, I would think, based on the daily RSI and the way that it looks, I would think you go lower, but hopefully not too much lower is all I'm trying to say. Hopefully not too much lower. 4-hour RSI ain't giving us anything. It's very neutral. So I want to look at this thing one more time just from an outside look. Kind of at an area where you've been having these descending highs, right? Descending trend line up there. Maybe you make another stride up. You might come back down. Yeah, you might come back down to that 5.5 cent area, if not all the way down to about 4.8, something like that. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you could be achieving new lows here compared to like what you've seen recently. But hopefully you can hold that 4.8 to 4.1 area if you break the 5.5 area. I do think that you'll hold, I'm hoping that you hold that 5.5 cent area. If not, lower you go. I don't really have anything else to say on this one. Kind of tricky with like charts like this, you know, because the RSI looks like this, but that's only because it's so, like, look at these candles, right? They're all gappy and stuff like this. If you had actual liquidity, but we don't, this is what we have right now. The RSI might be a little bit more telling, but this is what we got. So you could kind of have like a bull flag here. It's just hard to tell, man. It really is hard to tell. Form a higher low. Form a higher low, and we can talk about higher highs. But until then, down from here is what I'm going to say. So moving on from there, talking about Litecoin. This one we'll be talking about for a little bit, and it's not just because Litecoin's Mr. or Mrs. Popular. I've heard it been referred to as Mrs. Litecoin before. That was a bit loud. Let's see here. We're going to start off with the USD pair and then move on to the BTC pairing. I do like this bounce, but overall you do have lower lows and lower highs. Rejecting the 50 area is not a good look. You do have 18 hours left in this week. You are down about 7%. That is a little bit of a move for Litecoin, but it could do it. It could do it in 18 hours. Bottom to top, held your 618 not once but twice. Came up to your 382. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not a detrimental look. It's not a bad look. Again, I don't think you're actually going to go below this low here. I don't think you'll go below $40, but you very well could be going lower than this low right now. Seeing this kind of maneuver where you come down to your 618, reject your 382, but specifically, you find support on your 618 once, you find support on your 618 twice. The third pass, and then you break through your 618, you are likely to find support on your 786, 886 area, which is anywhere from about $45, $44 to $50, 46 cents, somewhere in that $5 range there, which, surprise, surprise, comes in line with this support zone here. So maybe that 786, maybe around $50. $50 is a somewhat psychological level as well. Let's see if we can find any significance here from bottom to top. All in all, to say I do think it goes down. But 1618 right there at $40, $48, right at these lows, man. Yeah, you could $53 to $48. I think you're going somewhere in there. Let's look at the daily. Bearish divergence. Not really a whole lot going on. If you hold this, if you can hold this area at about $69, a little bit below $69, but if you can hold that area, then maybe you will go up. But I don't have faith. I really don't have faith. On the daily, you are below your 50. You are at the point that you need to hold, both in price and on your RSI. Like, if you can hold this, you kind of look like you're in this constructive channel upwards, right? You have this ascending trend line here and on the top there. So if that breaks, really, if you break below this 45 area, then I do think that it's on. And if I had to bet, and I am a betting man, I would say you probably do go lower. Found a little turbulence at the purple line. Looks like you're rejecting it potentially. Had a bearish engulfing candle twice. 4-hour RSI does look weak. I would think you go lower. Again, probably to that $48 to $53 area. Probably closer to 48 to 50, something like that. But again, back around where like the wicks are down here, something like that. Maybe not like the absolute lowest wick. Let's put it maybe on the weekly lowest close down here. That could be your low, or maybe this weekly low close here, somewhere in there. That would be my expectation, honestly, for this thing. Now let's look at the BTC pair, LTC, BTC. We'll give this thing a more... by the way, before we do that, actually, I do want to say, I want to finish off by saying I do think that Litecoin is going to form new highs by the end of this cycle. You've kind of got this double top here. Overall, higher lows. This is kind of like a grand area of just like consolidation. I think that this bull market is going to be stronger than the last bull market, and I think with that you're going to see coins like OG coins like Litecoin that have held up well. They're going to achieve those new all-time highs that we were not able to achieve in the last cycle. But moving on from that, LTC, BTC on Coinbase. Nope, we're going to do Binance. Yes, that looks a little bit better. Okay. RSI looks weak. Oh. You didn't go into the oversold zone. You held it. You held it really nice. Unfortunately, though, you couldn't even get near your overbought zone, right? You could be forming a double bottom. With that, you'd probably go a little bit lower, but you could be forming a double bottom here. Hard to say. Let's look at the weekly. Okay, weekly doesn't look as good. The weekly does not look as good. But, you know, still, you could go just a little bit lower, hold there, and then go higher. Something like that wouldn't be too crazy. And maybe you hold there, but you don't move up immediately, and then, you know, you go up. Let's look at the daily pairing. Yes, you have some kind of like bullish divergence right now, but I don't think it's going to hold, man. I think you are going to go lower in your LTC BTC pairing. I want to look. I just want to see what this thing is overall. I mean, overall, you're in a downtrend, right? Clear downtrend. Low to high, tipped, literally tipped that 1272. So this is kind of nice to see. You know, you went up to your, normally whenever you see deeper extensions, you would reject your 886, but you didn't. You rejected your 786, which is still common if you want to see deeper extensions. But this could be, you know, the fact that you didn't reject the 886 on this pass right here could be a sign that you hold this 1272 again. So the double bottom is possible. If not, you might be seeing a lower low somewhere around this 1414 or even the 1618. So keep that in mind. Let me see here. From this low to this high, yes. 2618, 2414 around that 1272. Yeah, you could form a double bottom, maybe slightly lower than that low. And then you could see some kind of like upward maneuver from there to kick off the bull market, like we did last time, actually, didn't we? Where was it? Let's see. Right, this was it right here. And Litecoin continued to go up even whenever it was going down like this. But 2018, December 2018, this was like the beginning of the bull market last time. And I remember a lot of people were saying Litecoin was leading the markets around this time. So you might be seeing something like that soon, but not now. Not now. Now I think it goes lower, at least versus Bitcoin and versus the dollar. So whatever Bitcoin does to the downside, it probably does more for Litecoin, is what I would assume. Moving on from there, let's talk about KP3R for Lady Bex. We are almost done, people. KP3R USD. I like KP3R, man. Oh, I thought it. I swear it used to be on Coinbase. Maybe they delisted it. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't know. I actually used to hold some KP3R back in the day, but I don't now. Maybe I held it on Binance. I don't remember. Let's look at the all-time. Let's look at this all-time history real quick. Yeah, I bought my first bit down here, and then when it did this, I thought it was going to do great things, and then it went down. I'm like, oh, I've got hope. I'm going to buy more, and then it shit the bed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell out, and I'm glad I sold, but could have taken profits, man. Could have, should have. You know, they say most losing trades. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Leave a comment explaining. Well, you don't have to leave a comment, but I'm just going to tell you, like, most people, when you have a losing trade, right, you've probably experienced it where it was at one point in the green. I feel like normally whenever I have a losing trade, it was like in the green by like 15-30% at least, sometimes more than that, but generally I take profits around there. But still, like, I'm getting off topic here, man. Getting off topic, but could have had a better move is what I was trying to say with this thing. I didn't sell, and this was a lot bigger. I bought like down here. It's like, yeah, I was up, like, I remember, man. I thought it was going to do great things, but nope, no. Anyways, enough about my personal life. Let's see. Kraken, No, Binance it is. Okay. So, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. A lot of volume. Definitely a lot of volume. Overbought conditions. Nice. I like the base on your RSI here. I do like that. Very steep runoff down here. Bottom to top. You held your 1414. Man, that 1414 is coming in line a lot. Went all the way up to your 618 area, finding a little bit of turbulence. Okay, you're not rejecting the 886. You're actually tipping it for support. That's kind of nice. It's actually very constructive. Daily RSI, you've got some bearish divergence forming right now. It is formed. It is there. It's actually printed bearish divergence. Bearish engulfing candle. You probably go down from here. Lower volume. Looks like you're breaking out of this constructive structure you got. Yeah, you might be seeing a pullback, a little relative pullback in the meantime. From low to high, right? KP3R, it's like Keeper or Keeper Network. I think it's just Keeper. I think it's something like to store passwords or something like on the blockchain or something like that. I forget. It's been a while, but double top, you tipped your 236 here. When I'm saying a double top, you tipped your 236 here and then you tipped it here again. This kind of look is generally condemning to your 618, 69 area, which would take you, you're at $73 about right now, $72.80. I would think that you'd go anywhere from about $55 to let's say $55 to $60, somewhere in that range. Looking back, not really too much significance over there. A little bit of resistance, sure. I would think you go there, yeah. If not, potentially lower. But overall, I would kind of expect that you hold this area, honestly. But we'll see when you get there. For now, I think it goes lower. Bearish divergence, lower volume, lower highs here. Double top, I guess kind of like a triple top at the 236 like this, and you're below the 382 again. The odds of you seeing this 618 at least are very, very high. So I would think you at least go to around that $60 area, probably just a little bit below that, and hopefully you hold that $55 area. Maybe by that time, this purple line will be up here a little bit, and you'll be holding support, what was once resistance throughout all this time here. Maybe you're holding it as support now. That'd be nice to see. So look for that $55 to $60 area coming to you soon. All right, moving on from there, QUBIC Network. I've never heard of QUBIC Network. QUBIC Network. QUBIC Network. Let's do some QUBIC. We got nothing, man. Let's see. What do we got here? QUBIC. See, it helps if you... Oh, there we go. QUBIC. Can I type that in? Oh, so it's just not on TradingView, maybe. Yep. QUBIT. QUBIT. This is going to be one where we're going to have to use the CoinGecko chart, which will not allow me the full extents of my analysis, but that's okay. Let's see, maximum, logarithmic, and this thing's been around since November of this year. No wonder, right? It's probably available on DEXs. It is number, it doesn't say, does it? Yeah, we don't know the market cap, so that's okay. 24-hour trading volume reported is 469,000. That's a lot, man, for a nothing, no name. Let's see. Let's go on CoinMarketCap. Sometimes they will report for these no-name coins. Sometimes they don't, though. Yeah, I don't see it. It's not on. Okay, so we don't know the market cap. For one, I don't know where you would buy this thing, or I mean, you'd probably find it on like Uniswap or something, or maybe on another decentralized exchange. But I don't know if I would invest in it just yet personally. That's just my personal opinion, right? It's been around since November 13th, man. So I guess we can use the 7-day chart on this. Maybe we can use the 24-hour chart. You are moving up a little bit. I just don't like it, man. I don't like this format on CoinGecko with what we got going on. It could just keep going, man. Like it really could. Something like this, low cap, no nothing. I don't know. You know, the tokenomics data is not available for this. this could be like an early adoption coin. With a coin like this, you know, you don't have to put in a lot of money. You could put in $100 and it could turn into thousands of dollars. You could put in $10 and it could turn into thousands of dollars. So don't bet the farm on something like this. Please do not throw all your money into this. Throw what you're okay with losing, because, you know, it is up 106% today, but this might just be a pump and dump nothing. Most cryptos in the space, they have pumps and then they end up being nothing after that. They shit the bed afterwards. So yeah, man, I don't know if I have anything else I want to say about this. I can't chart it, unfortunately, really. So what it looks like is it went up from, how many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 3, and now you're up at 5 zeros, 7, essentially. So you did a nice 100% gain here in the last 24 hours. Yeah, that's what it's saying there. It could keep going, man. Something like this, it could go up 1,000% over the next 24 hours because it's probably got such a low market cap. That is a lot of trading volume, but I don't know if that's manipulated. I don't know. I really don't know anything about this. It's not listed anywhere, so it's just really hard to say or have a formal opinion on it. But with that, you guys, I think we're going to end this shitcoin showdown. If there was a winner between all these coins, I would say it's AKT. AKT, for as per Stano's request, actually looks the best for immediate continuation. So that one's the winner of the shitcoin showdown. Definitely an easy one this time. It wasn't so difficult. I don't know if there's a runner-up because all the other coins look like they want to go down. I suppose QUBIC Network looks like it wants to continue going higher, but I'm not going to say that that's the runner-up at the moment. So if I had a loser, it might, unfortunately, it might be Vertcoin. It might be Vertcoin. But they're all, you know, they're all going down. Just because Vertcoin's the loser now doesn't mean it can't be the winner at the end of the day. But for now, I feel like Vertcoin is in trouble of potentially going lower, like seeing new lows. So not like new all-time lows, but new lows, new relative lows, where a lot of these other coins look like they're going to form higher lows. But hopefully Vertcoin can at least hold a double bottom or a higher low. But that's all I got, man. Again, I will leave timestamps for anybody who's still watching. I will leave timestamps in the description if you're watching this like right now, like immediately as I publish it. The timestamps won't be out there. But I will be, you know, I'm going to publish it first, and then I will add the timestamps afterwards. I'll edit it. I'll leave a link in the description for the Discord. If you have any requests at all, anybody out there, feel free to leave a request in the description. And if you want to hit that like button, the like button really helps a lot. You know, it helps the channel grow. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to harp on that too much. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Take care, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye-bye.